Hello crafters, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be casing a card created by Yana Smakula that features some partial embossing and hot foiling. If you aren't familiar with the term case, it means to copy and selectively edit a design. I'm doing that here with these designs that Yana created, and I will link to her video on her blog post below. I love these designs, so I thought I would give it a try. I'm changing up the products used and using the Thankful Tractor die set instead of the flowers since I'm planning on making a masculine card today. This tractor is really cute, it's perfect for fall cards, and I love that Spellbinders includes the size of the assembled die cuts on their packaging. I'm also using the Optical Arches embossing folder, which I'm finally breaking out of its packaging to try a year later, and the More Sentiments Glimmer Hot Foil Plates. For today's color combo, I'm picking out this one that I believe Laura Basson created a couple months back. Lots of oranges and blues, perfect for, anything. So I'm pulling out a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of peacock cardstock from Concord and Ninth. This I thought would make a perfect base for this design, and it's a really perfect contrasting color to the orange that I'm planning to use on the tractor. I picked off the Happy Birthday to You Glimmer foil plate, and this is a sample that I prepped before doing this to figure out how far down I want the embossing to go. It ends up being about an inch up from the bottom, so I just wanted to make sure that my sentiment was going to stay within that boundary. It wasn't going to sit up too high, so that's what I'm checking here. So I have my Easy C tape ready to go. And I'm checking to make sure that my plate is straight and it's even across the page so it's not crooked and nice and centered. And I'm taping that down. And now is when I realized that I did not turn my glimmer on at all. Rookie mistake. So I'm finally getting that heated up here. And I'm pulling out my glimmer foil. I ended up using the champagne foil. I love this. This is my favorite gold that I've used so far in the whole 4 times that I've hot foiled. I'm using the hinge method here, and I'm sneaking that piece of foil underneath the plate, and I'm trimming off the excess. Through the magic of television, my glimmer is warm. It's ready to go. So I have my plates here, and I think I put them on in the wrong order. I was frazzled. I don't usually foil on my desk like this. It's usually on a different desk, but it's not on the view of the camera. So I popped the timer on that, letting that go. I've got my Platinum 6 ready to go now that it's done. And I'm going to run that through very, very slowly. And here comes the part we all love, the peel and reveal. It's kind of not a great peel and reveal, but it's good. I'm happy with these results. That's always what you want to see, some nice foiling. I did notice that there is a little bit of overfoiling, so I'm going to take care of that here once I get everything out of the way. So I've got my mono sand eraser, and you can kind of see it. It's not super noticeable, but I figured I'll just kind of erase it away. I think I went a little too aggressive on the erasing, but it removed it really easily, and now it's perfect. So now that I have my foiling done, I'm going to get ready with my embossing. I put this on the dark paper so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. It's kind of hard to see on my glass mat, but I'm basically lining up from one edge of a rainbow to the other, making sure that that's straight there. Just take those 2 edges. And there you go. You can kind of see it better. From one arch to the other, it's almost perfectly lined up that way, and then it's hanging off at the bottom there. So I'm going to close the embossing folder very carefully, trying not to jostle anything. I have my platform base A with the universal plate system, the platform top B, the embossing folder, and then the cutting plate C. And I'm going to slowly run that through once I get it lined up. So I'm going to slowly run that through the Platinum 6. And here comes another really, really good reveal. This turned out beautifully. I'm so happy with it. I love it with the peacock cardstock and with that gold foiling. All right, and I have all my dies out as I'm getting ready to die cut here. And my inspiration for this, I'm actually making this card for my uncle, and he has a Kubota tractor, which they're, you know, bright orange like this and black. And so I figured I would use clementine as the base of the tractor here and basically follow the picture. So I'm just getting my reference here on the packaging just to figure out what each piece really is. And I'm gonna cut the body of the tractor out of clementine cardstock. I'm gonna cut the detail pieces, fenders, I don't know what they're called on a tractor, out of some spice cider. A little bit of tone on tone love. I'm gonna cut the die that has wagon parts. It has everything, like all the little bits and bobs, the detail pieces, out of cayenne, and the tractor top out of black, the wheels out of black cardstock, the detail shading parts of the tire out of some mushroom cardstock. And then I'm gonna use some matte silver cardstock for the hubcaps of the tractor. We've got all that die cut. And I ran through my die cut machine another hubcap and the piece that I cut out of spice cider, or out of cayenne, out of black. So I have all my little detail pieces. So the folks at Waffle Flower sent me over some grip mats, and this is the A2 size grip mat, and I'm very thankful for them for sending that to me, so thank you. But this grip mat comes with 2 guides where you can kind of get your alignment if you're stamping things or trying to line things up perfectly. But I won't be using those today. I'm just going to be sticking this on my glass mat to build my tractor on. It's a wonderful sticky mat equivalent surface that stuff won't move around. They'll stick really, really well, and it's super easy to peel off, unlike a sticky mat, which sometimes can be a fight. So I'm sticking my grip mat down here, kind of fighting for my life to pull off that top little overlay, acetate overlay. So I'm going to assemble the tractor here. And I glue everything down. I don't want to give too much dimension to this since it's going to be going through the mail. I don't want it to get destroyed because I have had that happen before where the mail sorting machine kind of eats it a little bit, eats the card. So I'm just going to zip through this really quickly. But yeah, like I said, I am making this card for my uncle. He's kind of like a second dad to me. So I have the bad habit of, if I see something that I know would fit a person's personality or like make their birthday cards extra special, I tend to pick it up. So that was one of the main reasons that I picked up the Thankful Tractor die set when it was on sales, because I saw it and I was like, that would make a perfect birthday card. So yeah, is that something you do? It's kind of a toxic trait for me. I end up with a little bit too much in my bins, but I'm happy. I'm happy with my supplies. All right. And unfortunately, my camera cut out. I don't know what happened, but here's my assembled tractor. The only thing that really was missed was putting on the detailed bits, and I ended up putting some of that matte silver cardstock behind the grills of the tractor. I thought it added a little bit of visual interest and kind of popped with the tires. So here I've decided to die cut some flowers out of Aqua Sky and Oceanside cardstock and some leaves out of Parsley cardstock. I love how Parsley looks on Peacock. They pair really well together. It's got like that kind of jewel tone vibe. And I'm going to cut some more flowers out of Oceanside. And so at this point, I'm trying to figure out the placement of things. If I want to do flowers, if I don't. and if I want those flowers to be single or double stacked. So I ended up deciding on layering up one flower and then keeping the other two flowers as a one layer deal. And here I'm still trying to figure out how I want to place them. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I feel like the background needs something more to it. I ended up die cutting flower centers out of buttercup cardstock, and I'm still fiddling around a bit here, but I've decided that I do like this flower on top of the tractor. I like the flower sitting there and then trying to figure out how to balance out the scene with the other two. It's just a lot of messing around until you feel that it's right. But I was starting to get the idea, so I decided that now is the time to pop the card panel on a Dove top folding note card from Hero Arts, and I'm going to glue it down, being a little heavy with the glue to make sure that I get contact where I need it. So I'm going to push it and make sure that contact hits using my Misty. And now I'm fine-tuning how I want the tractor to sit. So I pulled out some gold coin sequins from Trinity Stamps, and I'm just playing around with placement here. I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. I know that the background definitely needs something a little bit more to it. And at this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the other two flowers. I knew for sure that I was using the layered flower that's sitting on the tractor. I like this layout here, but I feel like we still need flowers. So this is the layout that I ended up settling on. I ended up putting some of the gold coin sequins as flower centers. And here I'm taking a picture with my iPad just so that I have this layout handy, that I have something to refer to when gluing it down, because I finally figured out a layout that I liked. So I'm gonna use some thin black foam squares from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm gonna put them all over the back of the body of the tractor. I'm also die cutting 2 additional roof pieces to layer those up behind it to allow it to make contact with the embossing. And I trimmed off the part that sits on the front, and I'm just going to glue those together. I peeled off the release backers on the foam squares, and I'm putting glue all over everything just to allow me to have some wiggle room. And I'm popping it down, sorry, my head's in the way there, and I'm popping it down kind of in the middle of the card, and it's got a little bit of an angle to it. It's kind of like the tractor's popping a wheelie. It's probably not realistic, but I like how it looks. And so now I'm gluing down the leaves so that I can lock in the flower placement. And now the flowers, and making sure to kind of hold these guys a little bit longer because it is harder to have them stick down right away. Like the paper is embossed, so it's not smooth. It's a little bit harder. And you have to wait a little bit longer for things to dry. So I'm gluing down the sequins, trying to make sure that they make good contact with the ridges of the embossing. And finally adding the flower to the tractor. And at this point, I realized that there was still a little bit of a gap between the roof of the tractor and the embossing. So I'm die cutting another tractor roof here just to try and lessen that gap a little so that it doesn't kind of fold in the mail. I'm sneaking that tractor roof back there, and I'm going to squeeze in some glue. and press it together. Sorry, my head's in the way again. And that's the finished card. So what do you think of it? Do you like it? I think it's pretty good for a masculine birthday card. I snuck in the flowers, which is very me, and I love how they look. I think they add a really great element to this card, and I'm really happy with it. I love the shine of the foil and the sequins, and I think it came together beautifully. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to catch you next time.